Are the arrangements that you play, Mick, or some of the other guys, it's either the arrangements that you play on your violin, are they arrangements you've used since the ELO days, or do they change over the years?
No, they're pretty similar. I mean, as I say, Lou's in the orchestra now as well, and we're probably playing pretty much, especially on the big hits and everything, we're playing pretty much what we played back in the other days. You know, I mean, when Lou was with us back in those days, and right back to what I used to play with Huey and Melvin in the early days.
Now, over the last couple of years, you've lost a couple of your ex-bandmates. Kelly Grokut being one of them, and you were together in ELO and with him in Part 2 and OrKestra, both versions of OrKestra. Must have been a massive blow to you to lose Kelly, and that, in fact, in a couple of days' time, that will be 2 years.
It will, I know. It's hard to believe, and I still think he'll be making a phone call soon, but it's not going to happen. But he was, to say it was a shock was, hard to, an understatement really, because we'd done a gig the night before in Berlin, and he wasn't feeling well, and we travelled home together as far as, I think it was Amsterdam, and we went down to the gate, and he said, I still don't feel great. I said, well, you get straight back to the doctor when you get home and get that sorted. He said, I will, and we shook hands, and that's the last time I ever saw him.
Are there any certain songs that you perform when you think about him more than others?
Well, all of them really, because Kelly had his set little pieces he'd do in the middle of a song. He'd walk over, and he had quite a comical edge about him when he was performing, and you can always see him coming over and doing his bits even though he's not there. So they're all pretty much, there's a bit of Kelly in all of them.
I mean, Glenn is a great replacement, but I suppose for you, the band's never going to be the same again, is it? And for the fans as well.
Because, Kelly was Kelly, and I worked with him from 74 right through until when he died, so that's a fair whack of time, really.
The sun is shining in the sky, there ain't a cloud in sight. It stopped raining, everybody's in a play, and don't you know, it's a beautiful new day. Hey, running down the avenue, see how the sun shines brightly in the city, on the streets where once was pity. Mr. Blue Sky is living here today. Hey, Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Welcome to the human race, a celebration. Mr. Blue Sky's out there waiting, and today is the day we waited for. Oh, Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Hey there, Mr. Blue, we're so pleased to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you. Hey there, Mr. Blue, we're so pleased to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you. Soon comes Mr. Night, creeping over, now his hand is on your you. Everybody smiles at you.
And also Mike Edwards, although obviously we haven't worked with him for years, but that was another big loss, and he was tragically killed by a giant bale of hay last year.
I mean, I can't even begin to believe what the odds of that happening are. I mean, 2 seconds either side, and he would have been fine. But I mean, it's I don't know if you put that down to fate or what do you put that down to? But that was very, very strange.
I don't think anybody can get their head around that. You know, I mean, he could have stopped.
How can you? I mean,
You could have stopped at a red light, or let somebody come through on a turn, or whatever.
I mean, it's one in I can't imagine trillion, whatever. I can't think of the odds.
But I guess we all make them decisions every day, and then we never know. Sure. We never know how that decision may have changed our fate.
I know. You go out of the house 2 seconds earlier. If you've forgotten something, you go back in the house. You might have gone out earlier and got knocked down or something. So, it's, like you say, it's that's how this is life. What can you do about it?
I mean, very luckily for me, as a fan, I managed to track him down a year before he died and got a great interview with him.
All right. Well, I hadn't seen Mike for years and years and years. I can't remember the last time I will have seen Mike. Yeah. It's, as I say, I always remember he's helping me actually joining the band, so it's an extra little memory of him.
Well, I had my video camera with me, and he played some cello on the video, and we stuck it on YouTube, and
I saw it on there, yeah.
And I've also heard that the police down in Devon used some of my video footage to identify him, which was a bit sad.
Oh gosh.
Didn't
know that. No, right.
And anyway, out of interest, have you ever tried to play a cello? Because are they similar? I know they're different sizes, and you can't stick a cello under your chin, but are they similar instruments to play?
I think, I'm sure there are people who can play both, but for me it's like standing, it's probably best to describe it as standing on your head and playing the violin behind your back or something, because when you get that thing between your legs and everything just seems to be going the wrong way, and it's all out of position somehow. So in answer to that, I've had a couple of goes, but it certainly wasn't catching on.
Okay, well, as well as the orchestra, you're involved in other projects, including something called the Beatles, Blues and Blue Violin. That just about sums up what you do, I suppose. So that's Beatles music, ELO music, and a bit of your own.
Yes, there's quite a big cross section in there, and it's filming myself basically, and then a girl called Tina McBain comes along and sings with us on quite a few songs now, and it's just a totally different project. I mean, it's totally exposed. We get on stage and there's, for a lot of the time, it's the two of us, and there ain't no hiding place, basically. So it's interesting because we do different arrangements of Beatles. Some of them a bit jazzy. We do some yellow stuff. We just change around a little bit, and the Blue Violin bridge just lets us pick anything else you want, really.
Well, there's certainly some, it might be a small band, but there's certainly some talent up on that stage. Is that quite frightening because you've got that small band in very small venues? How do you compare that to being 7 or 8 people in a spaceship at Wembley in front of thousands and thousands of people?
Well, you can see the whites of their eyes in the small gigs, that's for sure. Sometimes people are sat 6 foot away from you, and they can see everything you're doing or not doing. So I think it's more nerve-wracking doing the smaller things because, as I say, it's just the two of us, and we're pretty exposed.
There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone, though some remain. All these places have their meanings. For lovers and friends, I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I love them all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you. And these memories lose their meaning when I think of love. There's something new, though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before, I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. In my life, I love you more.